Warning, this episode contains adult language, mature situations, cleaning obsessed poison masters, cross-dressing marriage swindlers, tons of romantic partner candidates, and manga news. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Spiraken Manga Review, episode 558. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. I'm your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast you can find at www.spiraken.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and various other social media sites. Just type in SPIRAKN and I'll guarantee you find us one way or the other. And before we go into anything further, before we go into the actual manga review of the week, I've got some good news. One, I am excited to be going to Animazement in 2 days, which is going to be a blessing, and that's going to be great. We're going to have a blast at it. I got a bunch of panels going on. We will talk about that in a little bit. And something else, something a little bit more concerning. As you can notice if you're watching on the YouTube channel, my background looks really bad. The reason why is that I am moving. We are moving to a new location, so there's a little bit of disarray in the background, but I apologize and I digress, so no worries. We're going to get to that in a bit, but let's get to the part that you have all been waiting for. And what are we talking about? We're talking about the manga review of the week, because if you remember from that last episode, I spun that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga, and it dictated unto me that I'd be reviewing a manga that was written by Joumuaku and illustrated by Mizuki Yoda. Yes, Mizuki Yoda, who has done some very interesting artwork. This is their first official series alone. They've usually paired with someone else. So I guess they've gone from apprentice to official mangaka. This was published by Shueisha, brought over here by Viz Media. It was released in Jump Comics Plus, which is the branching gap between shonen and seinen. So this is a little bit more mature, but it's still for kids, apparently. Original release time was 2022. It's still coming out to this day with 8 volumes. It is not complete. It is an action romance. Some people say it's a harem series. I don't think it's a harem series. It's just mainly a romance series with a bunch of action in it. And it is a shonen series that was originally known as Marriage Toxin, but in English it is known simply as Marriage Toxin. And this is the story of Hikaru Giro. And Hikaru is a pretty relaxed individual. He's not too busy. His thing is that he loves cleaning stuff, and he also loves do-it-yourself candy kits. Well, actually, that's not all he's into, because he is someone who has a very unique job, a very interesting job. And when we first are introduced to him, he's not the main person. There's an individual who is how to put this politely, a horrible human being who is eating wonderful food while sitting on a bunch of people. Yes, this guy is a horrible mafioso who does horrible things to people, and he has a food taster tasting the food, which is delicious and amazing. And he's making sure that the food is excellent so that the boss can consume it. And then we're introduced to Hikaru, because Hikaru is actually the poison master, an assassin from an assassin clan who is the best at what he does, and he is an expert at all things poisons, biotoxins, and other things as well. And he has poisoned this boss in a very creative and horrifying way, where it's like, oh, the guy is perfectly fine, the taster's fine, and then he dies. And how did he do this wonderful, amazing thing? Well, slight spoilers. He ended up poisoning the poisoner with small amounts of poison and slowly increasing the increments over 6 months in order to make him tolerant to the poison. So that's going to kill the boss, but it will not kill the food taster. So that when the boss dies, everyone's going to kill the food taster thinking he's an assassin. It's brilliant. And this guy is very smart and ahead of his game, which is really cool for Hikaru. And he loves what he does. He is very clumsy, though. He's not good with people of the opposite sex, except for his sister. His sister, Akari, is pretty much the best thing in his life, and he supports everything she does. And the thing is that they are the last remaining members of, the youngest members of the Poison Clan. And it is up to Giro to find a wife and get married. He doesn't want to do that, and he's not going to force his sister to have a kid because his sister has found the love of her life, and she has moved in with her. Yes, his sister is a lesbian, and he's happy with her. Says, don't worry about it, Grandma'll be mad at me. You live your life. But meanwhile, everyone in his social circle, all other assassin heads, are all like, I found the love of my life. His best friend, a guy named Bugmaster, who, when you see him, it's kind of horrifying, because he's got bugs all over his face. He found someone he's marrying and he's dating. Kind of screwed up. The only person who really doesn't have anything is him, because he's like, I don't care. I don't really know how to interact with people, and I'm not looking for that. unfortunately, things are going to come to a head because he finds out through a event that his grandmother has decided to push the narrative a little bit and says, you know what, your brother isn't getting married, so Akari, you are going to give birth to the next heir, which is really not good. At the time that Hikaru finds out about this, well, he is dealing with a situation that he's been hired by a very not great group. I'm speeding things up a little, but a group to kill someone horrible, or according to them, a con artist by the name of Mei Kinosaki, who is known as the marriage swindler. Someone who makes you fall in love with Mei, and then, after you fall in love, they steal all your money and run off. And he's been hired to kill her, and it's very matter of fact. She's like saying, oh, well, I didn't do it. I'm in love with you. And he's like, well, what's going to happen is when I inject you with this poison, you're going to slowly die over the next hour, and it's going to be agonizing, and you're going to want me to kill you. But the problem is, as he's talking to this con artist, what she says kind of starts to spark with him. He's like, I've never had anyone tell me they fell in love with me before. Maybe this is a thing. And when he gets a phone call from his sister crying that she has to break up with her girlfriend over this, he does what any big brother would do, a good big brother would do. And he's going to fall on his sword and find someone to marry him. So he immediately says, if you're in love with me, how about this? If you marry me, I won't kill you. And Mei is like, okay, that's so wonderful, but there's no way in hell I'd ever marry you. Because she's a con artist. She's a swindler who does things. And everyone else like, oh, and his client's like, oh, that's a great job. You're making her think that she can be saved, but you're really torturing her. And he's like, shut up. I want to save my sister. Help me do this. I will save your life. And Mei has to take some convincing to do because Mei's a horrible person. But when push comes to shove, it's life or death. And so Mei agrees, and we find out, one, why Hikaru is the man himself, why he is the greatest thing since sliced bread, why he is the GOAT in all assassins, not killing, but paralyzing and torturing a bunch of people with poison so that the pain is so intense they will never be evil again, and then sacrifice people because he has his code of ethics, which is he will only kill people who are garbage human beings, who do horrible things. Like we said, there is that person who straight up was sitting on top of slaves and was being truly a horrible human being. This main guy hires people to kill other people, but then he takes the client's money and then blackmails them for years because they hired them to kill them. So they fit his qualification for his really bizarre honor code. And it's a great moment of seeing him kick butt. And then from there, he says, you know what, fine. You're not going to marry me? How about I hire you to help me find my future wife? And Mei's like, sure, no problem. This will work out. It'll be great. Remember, I'm a guy. He's like, wait, what? Turns out that Mei is a crossdresser who is a guy. And so this begins a friendship between the poison master Hikaru Gero and the marriage swindler who's a crossdresser, Mei Kinosaki. And as they go through to find Hikaru a girlfriend and a wife, and how awkward it is as he tries to find people. And that's what this manga is about. This manga is about finding someone to be with and to marry. And I'm going to be honest, it's not what I originally expected. I expected this to be it's going to be their con artist and a assassin are going to hook up and that's it. But it's not that at all. It's literally they're trying to get a date for the assassin, and he's horrible at everything. Because he's an amazing assassin, and he's also really good at cleaning stuff because he has a weird compulsion to clean things. He's become known as the midnight cleaner because after a job, he goes to clean things and cleans bathrooms so they're immaculate. He makes cleaning solutions that are like, it kills everything to 99.9 because he is a chemist. He knows how to make poisons. And then, of course, he loves do-it-yourself candy. So he has some good things, but everything else in his life he's horrible at. He goes to one of those speed dating events, and he horrifies everybody because the first thing he says is, my income is, and they're like, wait, why are you telling us you make this much money? Or he doesn't know how to interact. And so it is Mei trying to make Hikaru look good. And occasionally they get stuck in little events, some fights, some other things going on. And everything I described is literally the first 2 chapters of this manga. Nothing else. There's still a lot more that happens. And I'm not spoiling it because this series gets into that. And at first I was like, it started out good, then it dropped off, but then once it gets into all the other girls that he ends up meeting and falling in love with, it gets interesting, because this is kind of LGBT, but it's not, because you have the LGBT element of his sister and her girlfriend. You have that. Then you have May and him they have a bromance. At first it kind of hints at it, but it's more like, no, this is just a job because Hikaru does need to have a child. He has to find someone, and this is May trying to find the best person for Hikaru. And while there may be potentiality of this switching to that, where they get together, most likely who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. But it's an intriguing story that does some things a little bit differently. However, as I said, the story is a little uneven. Like, there are really some really good highs, some lows. But that's the plot. Main characters, I like that Hikaru is such a wild card. I love the fact that there is a whole group of assassin leaders. Each one is different. Like, we have Poison Master, we have Bug Master. There's one guy who's known as the Electric Master, Water Master, a guy who's wearing a Bell Diver outfit, and that's his special power, because no one can stop him. Like, all these assassin clans are really cool, and we get into that element a little bit, but the main focus of this story is this rom-com of him trying to find a wife. And it's not terrible, but there are elements with this which are odd. The art design it's well done. Like I focused earlier, there were some great moments of it. Some are kind of dark, but like one of my favorite shots is this one of Hikaru geeking out over a do-it-yourself kit. And I just love how it has the design of it, and it looks very Gintama-esque. And then another moment where it's him in his dark, evil Poison Master mode, looking epic, almost like Till Death Do Us Part's Blind Assassin. It has a very similar look to it, so it's a fusion of several different manga styles. And I do like that element to it. Will I read this again? Not really. I won't pursue this too far. I've gotten 2 volumes in, and it's interesting. It's not enough to pull my attention. So for that reason, I have to give this our middle-of-the-ground rating of A Gift from Your Crazy Aunt Muriel. This is okay, but in the long run, it is forgettable. The story is unique and different for what it is, and the concept of assassins looking for love, that's cool. But we've read versions of this before. There was a manga we did earlier called Love of Kill, which is literally an assassin falls in love with a bounty hunter, and he does really disturbing things to show he loves her. Like, he kidnaps the criminals. I didn't kill him. I got them all for you, ready to go. Please love me. That does something a little different. We're going to set up this kind of rom-com and dating elements where it gets into dating apps, dating in person, dating through companies, talking at bars. It goes through all the different dating elements, but adds that assassin quality. It feels like it could have done more to make it more engaging. But that's my opinion on it. Now, if you've read this and you disagree with me, let me know. Email me at xanaspiraken.com or tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know your thoughts on if you liked it or if you didn't. And, well, let me actually get you to the question of the week, which is simply going to be, would you want to join one of these assassin families? Would you want to be a part of one of them if you were born into it? Do they sound interesting or do they sound kind of boring? Let me know. Email me at xanaspiraken.com. And with that in mind, let's actually get to the manga releases for the week. And we've got some good ones this week. It's a long week, so let's actually get to it because, like I said, there's a lot that happened this week. So, starting off this week, we've got Oshi no Ko, Volume 6. Yes, we're now getting into some of the more interesting parts of this unique story involving, well, we know, twins who are not twins, who are twins. Got that. We have The Business Proposal, Volume 5. A Certain Magical Index NT, Volume 2. This is the light novel. A Reincarnated Witch Spells Doom, Volume 4. After We Gazed at the Starry Sky, Volume 2. Angels of Death, Episode .0, Volume 7. Apparently Disillusioned Adventurers Will Save the World, Volume 5, the manga. Estrella Record, Volume 2, Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Tales of Heroes, which is a spin-off of a certain other series. Ayakashi Triangle, Volume 9. Banished from the hero's party, I decide to live a quiet life in the countryside, Volume 11, the light novel. Bloodblade, Volume 2. Bocchi the Rock, Volume 3, finally coming out. I thought it was pushed back a little bit, but it looks great. Brunhild, the Dragon Slayer, Volume 1. The art in this looks spectacular. Bungo Stray Dogs, the official comic anthology, Volume 1. Cat in a Hot Girl's Dorm, Volume 3. Cheeky Brat, Volume 10. Chojin X, Volume 6. Clamp Premium Collection, Tokyo Babylon, Volume 3. Cocoon Entwined, Volume 6. Dark Gathering, Volume 7. Days with My Stepsister, Volume 1. Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody, Volume 21, this is the light novel, not the manga. The Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy, Volume 10, light novel. Durarara, the side story light novel. Elden Ring, The Road to the Erd Tree, Volume 3. Friday at the Atelier, Volume 1. The Girl I Saved on the Train Turns Out to Be My Childhood Friend, Volume 6 of the light novel and Volume 6 of the manga. Go-Go Loser Ranger, Volume 10. Goblin Slayer, A Day in the Life, Volume 1. The God Bless the Mistaken, Volume 2. The God of Nishi-Yigihama Station. Guillotine Bride, Volume 1. Handyman Saito in Another World, Volume 4. This is the manga, not the light novel. Headhunted to Another World from Salaryman to Big 4, Volume 6. Heartgear, Volume 4. Hell Mode, Volume 4. The Hardcore Gamer Dominates in Another World with Garbage Balancing. Higurashi When They Cry, Meguri, Volume 2. Hira Yasumi, Volume 1. The Holy Grail of Eris, Volume 7. Honey Trap Shared House, Volume 3. Horror Collector, Volume 3. I'm a behemoth, an S-ranked monster, but mistaken for a cat. I live as an elf girl's pet, Volume 9. The Irregulars at Magic High School, Volume 22, the light novel. The Kept Man of the Princess Knight, Volume 1. Kirururu Kill Me, Volume 6. Conan the Sorcerer Can See, Volume 3, this is the light novel. Lazy Dungeon Master, Volume 8. Magical Knight Rayearth Collection Number 3, which looks beautiful. This is a paperback version, not the hardcover. Maiden of the Needle, Volume 3. Mint Chocolate, Volume 11. Modern Dungeon Capture starting with Broken Skills, light novel, Volume 2. My Girlfriend's Not Here Today, Volume 1. My instant death ability is so overpowered no one in this other world stands a chance against me, Volume 4 of the light novel. This series is still really good despite the stupid premise. This is One Punch Man to the nth degree, and I really like this stupid series, but it's a lot of fun. My Lovey-Dovey Wife is a Stone Cold Killer, Volume 6, this is the manga. My Unique Skill Makes Me OP Even at Level 1, Volume 5, the light novel. My Youth Romantic Comedy Is Wrong As I Expected at Comics, Volume 21. Mysterious Disappearances, Volume 1. Nina the Starry Bride, Volume 4. This is the volume where we introduce the second love interest, who's a true, well, let's be honest, he's a horrible human being. Then we have No Game, No Life, Chapter 2, The Eastern Union, Volume 1 manga. We finally get a new volume of the manga series. One Punch Man, Volume 28. The Perks of Being an S-Class Heroine, Volume 1. Phantom Thief Red, Volume 3. The Princess of Convenience Plot Devices, Volume 5, the light novel. Reign of the Seven Spell Blades, the light novel, Volume 7. Reincarnated as a Sword, light novel, Volume 14. Sailor Moon Naoki Takuchi Collection, Volume number 8. This one has Chiba Uso on the cover. She Loves Gays But Not Me, Volume 1. She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat, Volume 4. Skip and Loafer, Volume 9. Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, Volume 2. Spy Classroom, Volume 7, the light novel. The Star Seekers, Volume 3, the comic. Stray Cat and Wolf, Volume 3. Sword Art Online, Re-Einkrad, Volume 1. Teasing Master Takagi-san, Volume 7 of 19. Though I Am an Inept Villainess, Tales of the Butterfly Rat Body Swap in the Maiden's Court, Manga, Volume 5. Tied to You, Volume 1. Tokyo These Days, Volume 2, which the artwork in this is spectacular. Then we have Trinity 7, Volume 29, The Seven Magicians. 29. Then we have Twin Star Exorcist, Volume 31. Unholy Blood, Volume 2. The Villainous Turns the Hourglass, Volume 3. What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, Volume 4. Witch Hat Atelier, Volume 12. Witch Life in a Micro Room, Volume 2. Wolf and Parchment, New Theory, Spice and Wolf Light Novel, Volume 8. This is the sequel series to Spice and Wolf, and if you watch the new Spice and Wolf series on Crunchyroll, the first episode has this main character being talked to by Hollow about how she met her dad. The World After the Fall, Volume 6. The Yearning Fox Lies in Wait, the manga. Yamushi Pedal, Volume 25. And last and certainly not least, we have Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead, Volume 14. So these are the, 90 manga that were released this week. We had some great ones, some weird ones, tons of ones that I definitely am buying for my own personal collection. But I've got a rank 5 as my top 5 for this week. So my top 5 are going to be Brunhild, the Dragon Slayer, Volume 1. This art looks spectacular, and it's something that is very different. Friday at the Atelier, Volume 1. This looks like a great art manga. We're going to find out. Hiro Yashumi, Volume 1. I've been seeing everywhere. It just I just want to see what it's about. The Kept Man of the Princess Knight Volume 1. This is a manga which it's got a weird title, so I gotta check it out. And then Mysterious Disappearances Volume 1. Looks like a good crime mystery story. We're gonna see how it goes. But those are my top 5 for the week. What about you? Which ones were you excited about? Let me know. Email me, zan@spiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know your thoughts on which one you thought was the best or which one you thought was the worst. Let me know. And with that, let's actually get back to me for a moment. Let's go back to that. And before we go any further, remember that I am gonna be at Animazement in Raleigh this weekend. And what's gonna go on? Well, this weekend I'm gonna be at a bunch of different events, and let's actually show you what I'm gonna be doing. So on Friday, May 24th, which is in 2 days, I'm going to be running the Live Action Equation Anime in the Flesh. That's at 5:30 in room 306B at the convention. Then Saturday, I'm running I'm Not Old, main characters over 30 years old. This is going to be 5:30 p.m. in room 306A, so the room right next door. Then we have Horror and Anime Manga 2024. This is at 10:30 p.m. Saturday night till 12:30 a.m. And this is in 302AB. And then last and certainly not least, we have on Sunday, May 26th, 24 manga recommendations for grown-ups. This is at 11:30 a.m. in room 306A. So I make the whole roundabout through the con. It's going to be a blast. I'm thinking that I'm actually going to be doing a couple of additional videos that are going to be released only for the YouTube channel. So if you want, youtube.com/@Spiraken, if you're listening on the podcast, to check out some of my notes on each day as well. I'm not doing the special day on Thursday because unfortunately I have to work on Thursday, so there is that. But before we go any further, remember, definitely check me out there, and if you see me, say hey, what's up. I will be taking photos and just being awesome. You'll know me by my signature hat and just me being dressed down. But anyway, before we go any further, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for just checking out this podcast and the videos. Every email I get, every comment I get, it gives me more motivation to keep doing this podcast. Every subscriber, you just give me more fuel to the fire to keep doing this, because I love doing this, and I want to keep doing this so I'm an old man who has to read manga with thick glasses and large print. And as I said, all my manga is pretty much being packed up because I am moving to a new location. So in the next couple of weeks, you will see my background change to maybe something else. I've been looking for some areas in this new place to see what looks good, and well, we're going to wait and see how that goes. But if you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can email me personally at Zan, that's Xan, @Spiraken.com, or you can email me personally. Well, you can email me there. You can also tweet me at Spiraken on Twitter. All the information is in the show notes, and more importantly than that, if you are watching on YouTube and you'd like to help support the podcast and support this, remember to like, share, subscribe, click on that bell for notification. And with that in mind, let's get to the part that you have all been waiting for, the most popular part, arguably, of this podcast. And what are we talking about? We are talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, accept no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. What I've done is I've set a manga title to each of the 10 slots. So we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, whatever manga is in that spot is what I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 559. 559, can you believe it? So let's spin and see what we're going to review, shall we? Number 9, Chojin X, the manga made by the creator of Tokyo Ghoul. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Well, we're going to have to wait and find out. But, hope you enjoyed this episode. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I am Gonzville. I'll catch you guys next time. And keep reading manga. See you later.